Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. It's an honor to be here with you. Thank you for taking the time. I greatly appreciate that, new and returning viewers. I just wanted to let you know I'm reading for all of the signs of November now. I've gotten half of the astrology signs out and I'm hoping to get the remainder in the next couple of days. I'm actually reading these at the last 2 days of October. And I don't know, there's just so much beautiful, incredible messages that have come through so far. There's a lot of strength. I'm going to be reading for the sign of Libra today, the beautiful air element, cardinal sign of Libra that is Venus ruled. You know, you usher in the beautiful season of autumn, one of my favorite seasons. I am in fact a Libra. Actually, I have a stellium, is what they call it, when you have 4 or more planets in Libra. So there's a lot, which leads me to remember to tell you it's always good to watch your sun sign, your moon, your rising or ascendant, that's the time you were born, and your Venus. But I'm even pushing for Mercury these days because that's about our communication. And I know as a Libra, who's very much interested in communication and relationships on the whole. Yeah, we want that, right? We want to be able to be understood, and we certainly want to understand others. It's imperative to us that there's a justice in everything we do, that there's a balance. We represent the scales, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to delve into that a little bit more and talk about some of the main astrological happenings, meaning the new and full moon, and the fact that we finished the series so far with Libra anyway, having the last eclipse in Libra on the 2nd and 3rd of October, depending on where you're located. And that's been really powerful, right? That's all about transformation. Now, the series of eclipses usually last 18 months. So the next and last final one for the Aries in the North Node, Libra in the South Node. Interesting talking today. Have been for about, 13 months, and then the last 5, it will go through March of 2025 for the last Aries eclipse, okay? I hope you're following me with that. But it's predominantly about relationships. They last, the effects, the storyline, the lessons, if you will, that will help us and guide us and help with any transformation that may happen in your life in many different areas. Time will tell. That will happen and continue to affect us for months to come. So that's what we're still dealing with. In addition to the new eclipse season that starts in 2025 with the North Node in Pisces in the South and Virgo, we also had a glimpse of that because just know that eclipses always run in pairs. So we had the latter part of September with the partial lunar eclipse in Pisces, just as a preview of what's coming up for the next 18 months, okay? So all of this is relevant to all of us as a collective, but with certain aspects having to do with your particular, astrological sign and natal chart in any particular house or planet is going to affect you more or less, okay? So I'm going to start like I always do. For those that are new, I have a little bit of a format just to keep it streamlined because I do talk and sometimes I'm a little ADD. Literally, I haven't been officially, diagnosed, but I feel like I'm probably on the spectrum of that for sure. So I have to remember to bring myself back and finish my sentences and so forth. So hopefully you'll bear with me and relate at the same time. So anyway, the start of this is having our chakra check. I'm the chakra check chick, right? Now, the chakras are the energy centers in our body, and this is our vehicle. This is our borrowed body for our incredible soul and spirit while we're here on this beautiful earth. And so while the body eventually decays, in time, it's a natural process. the spirit lives on. So the energy centers, while we are living, breathing, and very much alive, really help to keep that balance, to keep us at our best form, to keep us feeling centered, and all the other adjectives I guess I could use regarding every single area of our body, which is where these energy and chakras reside, okay? Starting from the root chakra, which is the first one at the base, to the sacral chakra, to the solar plexus, to the heart, throat, third eye, crown, and then the eighth, which is all encompassing, you know, all connectivity. You know, we are all one consciousness. So let's pull the one that's coming up for you. If you notice, I'm wearing my purple. As a Libra, I love my purple. I've loved it my whole life. I love all the different shades. I love it because it represents the beautiful crystal of amethyst, which isn't my birthstone, but it certainly has served me well as far as protection, and I wear and keep one in my pocket, I should say, and surround myself with it whenever I can. And it does associate with the third eye and upward in the crown area, really both, as far as the color and the energy that I'm speaking of, that can be balanced and strengthened when you focus on these areas. If you feel a block, it's great to follow this little mantra that comes on the particular card that I'll pull for today. I'm just putting it on the table. It doesn't really matter. There's whatever's coming up is good information for us. And the one that's coming up for you is okay. It's beautiful. It is the sacral chakra. It's really wonderful actually, because it has to do with our sexuality, our organs, our sensuality, our creativity, you know, the juices flowing, and I know that I love being creative, and there's so many ways to be creative, and I know that a lot of Libras are creative, and that it's something that's being brought to your attention. And as far as anything else in the sensuality part of it, we're ruled by Venus, right, Libra? So it's all about sensuality. It's all about looking good, feeling good, all the finer things in life, you know, the best foods, the best drink, being careful not to overindulge, which is easy to do. I have a sweet tooth that will never stop, and I'm working on it all the time, but I'm just being honest with you. So yes, I love this for Libra in particular today. And what it is it's known as the second chakra. And it says on it, effervescent creativity sparkles from my being. I love that word, effervescent. You know, just that, like that sparkling cider, or whatever you want to drink. My life's path is clear and founded in love, respect, and adventure. And I love that. The love word had to be synonymous with Libra and Venus, right? So yeah, that's beautiful. Now, in addition to this, I am wearing the gift that I am sharing with every sign that I think is one of the nicest gifts I've ever gotten. I just had a birthday at the beginning of October, and it's almost the end of October, so I still relish the whole month. I'm sure you can relate, Libra. But what it is a bag that has all the 7 chakra stones, okay, for representing all the chakras and the different crystals and so forth. So I have the, what am I trying to say? I have the, I believe this is the one we want. I have the amethyst in it now, and I like that, of course, for protection, but I also keep that in my pocket. So we're going to switch it over. We have the root chakra, which is the red one, but this is more of the orangey, and it's so beautiful. And I don't know exactly what stone this is, to be honest with you. It reminds me of the red jasper, and it's similar and close to the root, so, but it could be several things. So I'm going to put it in there, though, for our readings to accentuate and to bring even more energy into the area of our creativity and our sacral chakra, okay? And hope that that's going to transcend to all of you. And then we're going to go on with the reading, because I've changed the format, which I will do on occasion. All the readings for October were the Celtic Cross, one of my favorite layouts for readings. done it for over 25 years now, but I also like this one as well. I'm shortening the readings just a tad. I think I'll get this in here, okay? Yeah, there we go. I actually dropped one yesterday on my, well, not on it, but it rolled near my kitty and scared him, and he's right over there sending his loving spiritual energy to us, okay? His name is Eclipse, and he's my babe. So now that we're prepared and I feel like we have our focus on our chakras to keep that balance, take in the information, know that I have definitely blessed the cards and I have asked for clear and concise messages. I've fully shuffled them, but I like to just do a couple more. Sometimes I'm guided to do so. Messages do come through for me in addition to the card messages, so that's something I always like to bring up. And it may have something completely different than what the card is saying, but I'll say them as I see them and receive them. And so I'm going to lay out the cards and explain what the format is today. We have, for the first card, the overall energy. And just know I am using this beautiful deck, as I will change the decks as well per month, sometimes in between, if I am directed to do so. And this is the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. It's so pretty. It's about intuition right now. I mean, it's such a very, very potent time. We are in Scorpio season, and that happened just about a week ago now. And we have the new moon happening, Libra, in Scorpio, the 1st of November. So I love to write my intentions every single new moon, but when it's a new moon in Scorpio, there's so much depth to it. It's so passionate. It's very much about the sacral chakra, to be honest. And it's about diving deep into ourselves and to our guides, our guidance, to really be shown and recognize the truth. The truth shall set you free, okay? And that's absolutely what happens. You know, I consider the Scorpio the detective of the zodiac. They like to really dig deep in any topic, any subject. They don't stop until they find their answers. Any profession that I have ever found Scorpios to pursue, they're usually the top of the game, right? They're diligent and they persevere. They're extremely loyal as friends, and they're usually in relationships for a very long time. They have kind of a bad rap of being, yes, the sex sign, right? Because they are passionate and mysterious, and they are very alluring, and they kind of really have like a magic kind of energy that people are drawn to, that mystery of them, right? However, they are not promiscuous like you may think. I mean, there might be an age category that happens for pretty much every sign, you know, but on the whole, that's not what they're about. They do enjoy physical connection because it's how they know people. They feel things so much more than the average person as a water sign, and all water signs, to be honest. So I've had relationships with Scorpios, and they've been pretty wonderful. And so, you know, of all kinds, from romance to friendships. And the thing I love about that whole energy and the truth of it is that most of the time, and there's always exceptions, you know what you're getting with the Scorpio. Like it's real. You know, if they don't like you, it's very, very obvious. They're not one to put on airs, or, you know, they may not be forthcoming a lot of times. They can be secretive, that is true, but you just know the vibe, and it's just real. It's like you don't have to second guess it. I love that. I really, really appreciate that. Once again, having to do with the truth. So I digress. Overall energy, important though for the energies of the month of November, as it starts with this new moon. Write those intentions down. Write down things that you really want to see happen, and watch them come into manifestation for you, because I believe, and I've seen it throughout the readings, but for you specifically, Libra, it's going to be a dynamite month, and it's going to have so many beautiful things to it. You're going to look back at this month and think, wow, this I'll remember for the rest of my life. That's how, because of the eclipses and so many other things. So we have overall energy, we have the card representing love, partnerships, relationships, something we love, right? Doesn't have to be romantic, but we'll see what unfolds. Then we have money, finances, our self-worth, all of the above. And then we have the possible outcome. And lastly, we have what I call the wild card. So the wild card is kind of cool because it's either really been very much in line with and synchronistic, or it's off on its own and it's just another message that we can be taking should we choose to do so. There's always free will, right? That's the thing I love about anything having to do with the metaphysical world or spirituality is, yes, there are a lot of things that are happening that are out of our control. Yes, there are things we certainly don't see, but are still very much happening. And I can account for that, I promise. And I'm sure most of you can as well. However, yeah, there's a lot that we have full control over and manifest because we choose to do so. So let's go on with the reading here. Let's see here. Overall energy for the signs of Libra for November 2024. And you have potential. Oh, I love that. I love that. That to me is in line with intention and writing them out, as I mentioned, for this new moon. I will mention also the full moon will be on the 15th, and that's going to be in the sign of Taurus. So that's about money. It's about your earthly needs and wants. Taurus is an earth sign, so it's very, very much about practicality, saving for that rainy day, slower energy, but very methodical and very reliable and very resourceful, and yeah, known as the money sign. So if you know Tauruses, you're going to know that they are thinking way ahead of what it is that they can secure for themselves for the luxury and the comfort, because Tauruses are also ruled by Venus. So they want all the good stuff too, and they're willing to put in the time and the patience. So I love this card for you, potential. Let me double check if I may, because this is a major arcana also, which is Spirit saying we're giving a message here. It's an especially important message, okay? Take heed, and it's a beautiful message. It's a positive message, but I'm not sure exactly if I'm correct about it being perhaps the Fool, or maybe the Magician. I don't know. Let's see. So it's 0, and that's what the Fool is in the Rider-Waite. So let's see. It's under Major Arcana. The Fool. Okay, yes, I was correct. So bottom line about the Fool and the energy that it carries with it, it's the beginning of the journey, right? It shows the depiction on the Rider-Waite Smith deck of a person that's just at the edge of a cliff. He's got one sack over, it's just a small sack. He's traveling light, right? He's like, okay, here we go. I'm going to just trust in the process. I'm going to totally trust in the divine intervention and co-creation that's always with me. I'm making this choice myself. There's a little dog sometimes nipping at his ankles, being like, okay, be careful now, because I'm here. I'm supporting you. I am your, man's best friend, right? And I just want to make sure that you are thinking about this and before you take that leap, as it were. And I feel like that's where you're at right now. There's so many changes that have happened and that will continue to for Libras and for the world at large. And we have one coming around the corner, and you know what I'm speaking of. So in the United States, there is the election. And I think I'm feeling that very strongly, that there's that kind of a underlined, what will be, will be. And so the faith and the trust. And the other really important thing I want to say, because if I don't, I'll forget. Prior to your reading, in the morning, when I do my meditation and my rituals that I do, and my gratification log and various things that have to happen before I start my day, the words came to me, and then it came out in the angel cards of listening. I love getting that card because many times I ask Spirit for questions. I ask for answers, I should say. And then it's really important about the listening portion of that. Allowing the answers to come in. They may not come in right away. I have some very important couple of questions that I absolutely have to have answered in my personal life, and I've asked a few times, but I'm really, really going to be very in tune with what I'm hearing and how am I hearing it. Is it through other people? Is it through music? Is it through my dreams? I mean, I want you to consider this. And it kind of ties in with the overall energy of the Fool and just like allowing, allowing things to happen and be with the flow and trusting. Okay, so that's wonderful. Next card, like I said, is love, relationships, all different types. You have the Seven of Cups. Well, that's the water element, the cups, right? That is the Scorpios, the Pisces, and the Cancers. And being in the Scorpio season, I could see where you're probably feeling maybe more emotional. I know I am. Now listen, as an air element, we get the rap of, oh, you're not very emotional. That's absolutely not true. Everybody has emotions. We do, I would say as a Libra, we make a point of trying to keep them under wraps. I admit that fully. I know that there's a time and a place for me, and I've lost it sometimes, even knowing that. For the most part, though, I feel like it's something that I like to keep as much control over as possible. It's true. And I think that detachment is what people speak about, but it's in there. It truly is. And I definitely can cry a river, and have in my lifetime, which is really healthy as well. But just know that that's going to be probably brought to the forefront. The full moons, the new moons, moons in general bring out emotion for me. I will cry at commercials type of thing. I cry from joy mostly these days, and I love it because I have so much to be grateful for. But the 7 represents many choices, okay? And 7 is an angelic and spiritual number for sure. And it happens to be the 7th house, which is where we reside as a Libra. So I find that beautiful in itself, that shows up. Just being aware that too many choices sometimes can be confusing and can take you away from your main objective, to just stay a little more in line with your ideals and things of that nature. You want less is more, okay? And making sure that you're picking the right thing and not getting too fixated on it, but just taking time to be silent, taking time to be still, asking the questions, and then listening for the answer. What is your best option? And if not, and you'll have answers regardless, okay? And things will work themselves out. But we do have to make choices sometimes, and this is absolutely about choices and possibly confusion, like too many choices in the relationship department. So, it could be worse, having too many choices to make, I suppose, about people that are vying for you or that you're interested in. But all kidding aside, excuse me, you'll know because you have strong intuition, and it's going to be coming in even stronger this month of November. Mark my words on that. Then we have the financial card. So this is about, once again, it's about your money. It's about your thoughts about money. It's about wealth, but it could be having to do with your health, because to me, that's number one in wealth. I say it all the time, and I mean it so dearly and sincerely. You have the Monarch. Wow, I love this. And I just got this and it's escaping me right now, but it's another major arcana. It's so much about transformation. It's crazy. The Monarch, right off the bat, I'm thinking the Hierophants, because it's about a leader, it's about a guide, it's about a spiritual ancestor that's there wanting to work with you in regards to your money. It's about you and yourself and your higher power saying, I want to make a change in the way I see or think about money, currency in general, because it is a law. The law of currency is when you give, you receive, and keeping that going and really focusing on that part, but also knowing it's unlimited. and to really try to remind yourself of that whenever possible. The strength is there with the Leo. So there's a reference to Leo, which is a fire sign, and that's that courage. They're ruled by the sun. They are definitely representing the solar plexus right here, the strength and the self-confidence. The butterflies always represent transformation, so changing. And that's the other thing about Scorpio and Scorpio season is they are the biggest transformers. I mean, they've had so many transitions and changes in their life, right? From rebirth and life and death of a situation over and over, that they're like experts on the subject. I would truly want to hear from a Scorpio of how they got where they were going and some of the steps they took. Absolutely. Let me double check this for you too. And by the third time, I hope I will remember what this is. But it is, what is that saying? 4? Let's see what 4 is in the major arcana. Because I know these things, but when I see it in a different format, it's the Emperor. Okay, that's right, of course. I just got it yesterday, but that's the strength. And the Emperor represents Aries, okay? And there we are with that whole series of the eclipses that are still happening, and we're still feeling and will for months, but the fact that we're getting this last eclipse in Aries in March of 2025. So what I'm feeling very strongly about this, and what I believe the energy from the messages are saying, is that between now and this new moon happening this week on the 1st of November, and the eclipse that happens in March of 2025, and I believe the 29th, wow, things are going to be so different. And financially, like, I feel like you're reaching some place in your life that you've never ever reached before, because maybe you didn't believe it, or maybe it just wasn't available. But those things are changing for you, Libra. It doesn't matter what age you are. It's all about your spirit and your intention and your belief and the confidence, like I said, you have. It's absolutely a beautiful indication of your leadership, maybe taking on a leadership role, an entrepreneurial job, starting a YouTube channel. I love this so much. And there we have the 2 major arcanas, okay? Beautiful. Then we have the possible outcome. Oh my goodness, okay. Thank you, Spirit. I love you so much. I am blessed. Justice, that is you. And that is another major arcana. Now, I don't believe Justice has come out for any other reading yet, which is so perfect. But this is you, Libra, and this is you getting your justice, okay? And I don't know what that means. It could be obviously having to do with courts, where you will win some kind of a lawsuit that maybe has been going on for a long time, or it's new. I don't know. I know that justice is served. It represents you. You're in your energy. You're in your power. With this eclipse, times are going to be changing, all right? And then I will bring up lastly that the change of Pluto in Capricorn, finally, and for the next 20 plus years, after over 18 years being in Capricorn, will turn back into and go back into Aquarius, which is going to be extremely complimentary for you as a fellow air sign, as well as the fact that we have Gemini, the 3rd air sign in Jupiter right now through next year. And although in retrograde, meaning it's more internalizing right now, it happens every year at this time, the power is still there, the benefits are still there, the miracles are still there, and things are going to be flowing. Absolutely. Please let me know. And if you're liking what you're seeing, I would greatly appreciate you supporting the channel by a simple push of that subscribe, like button, sharing. I want to monetize. I want to get to 1,000. This is my goal. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers by Christmas as my Christmas gift. What do you say? Can you help me with that? If not, that's cool too, because I'm a soft sale. I'm happy to do it regardless. This is why I'm here. The final one is the outcome of this was the outcome. the wild card. And this really excites me right now because it's also extremely cohesive to the reading, and it's the Queen of Pentacles. Wow, we have the full moon, as I mentioned, in Taurus, the sign of Earth, the pentacles, the coins. Yes, it represents money. So it's another facet. Like I said, it can work really well with the storyline, or it can be off on its own, adding more dimension. But it's really speaking about you're leveling up. You know, the Queen of Pentacles is an amazing, giving, down to earth. The Queen, the Pentacles representing the Virgos, the Tauruses, and the Capricorns. And we're entering into Capricorn season. You know, they are a cardinal sign, as are Libras and Aries and Cancer. So that's happening as well. They represent the season of winter. So on the 21st of December, we'll enter into Capricorn. There's a lot of earthy energy that's going to keep you grounded, even when you're flying high and you're elevating and you're bossing up, as it were. I'm trying to learn all the words, you know. But they're coming easy because this is very much of a positive reading. And it showed that for me when I was watching other readers that I love, that this is it can be an extremely positive month. Every month can be extremely positive, or otherwise. We do have to recognize our thoughts are definitely a part of that, our energy and our attitude, right? So overall, just fantastic. I'm going to finish with your oracle message, which is through the deck that is the Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland. It's a beautiful deck. It covers everything. It covers all the chakras. It covers the major arcana and the I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say here. The minor arcana. So let's see here. Just a couple of shuffles. I've definitely shuffled this too, but the last card will represent kind of everything that we've spoken of, and in a simple word or two. All right, so let's see what the Oracle Spirit wants to know for November, for all the Libras, although we're in October. Because, you know, you might, if you watch this now, and it's uploaded in the next, day or so, it can carry through, though. It doesn't mean it's going to end in October. Just know anytime you watch is perfectly acceptable. Oh, man. Well, first of all, I love the beautiful picture that this shows. And then as you look even deeper, there's a heart right in the center, which is, I'm just saying, I've said it many times, I'll say it many more. Our heart is our most intelligent organ. It is the strongest. It's the last thing that stops, that keeps us from being here or transferring ourselves to the next dimension. The word in the card represents embrace. Embrace it all. What are you embracing? What are you feeling such incredible connection with, and honor and joy and that benevolence? It's all there for us, all the blessings, every moment of our life. 21 in numerology, when you put it together, 2 + 1 is 3. So there's such growth. And you're opening yourself to it. You've got the lotus behind you. Look at that passion right there. That's the original card we did for the sacral chakra, that orange, that brilliant orange, vibrancy, right? So I certainly hope you resonate on some level with this. Give it some time if you don't, because sometimes things take a while, or it's already happened and you're like, yes, and that's beautiful too. But I appreciate you being here very much, and I hope you have an amazing November and Thanksgiving if you celebrate that, and that you'll come back and visit me again in December, okay? Take good care. Bye for now.